Good morning, everybody. Welcome back. Kevin here from Watch This with Joe and Kevin. That last episode uh, of The Sopranos really hung with me. It's like a really bad taste in my mouth. Not from the show, it was, the writing. It was an outstanding episode, but from the subject matter, in that we got to see Noah with Meadow, and we got to see Richie with I can't remember the girl's name. She's dead now. Not Richie. Ralphie. Um, and the idea that we just saw consistently how the men on this show and in this world consistently mistreat the women on this show and in this world. Most specifically, I really think we were really comparing Ralphie and Noah, um, and the idea that both of them basically there to use women and get rid of them when they're done using them, or when they become inconvenient. Um, we saw the roommate who's completely downtrodden and alone. Is that the alternative? I guess Meadows like get her a boyfriend. None of my friends I would subject to that. Well, and how well he treated her, and Meadows like most guys wouldn't care. Well, I'm not like most guys, and of course the punchline at the end of the episode is, of course you are. You have an inflated view of yourself, but you're the same kind of guy that the rest of the guys on this show are. You absolutely know better. Interesting that the only person who seemed to really care at all was Tony, right? When Ralphie beat the poor girl to death, the 20-year-old to death. Um, it was interesting that when he went to therapy, though, and it was clearly bothering him, like that this is how the world is. Um, he said a guy he works with, and it was like, well, why say that? Is it because he doesn't want his wife to know he cares about another girl? Which is what I thought initially. But the more I thought about it this week, I kind of, and I'm not saying I'm right, but I kind of came to the mind of maybe because it's a woman, um, an unimportant one who works at the club. Maybe he doesn't feel like he's allowed to care, right? It's not part of being a man to express that kind of concern for a woman that you're not with, which is really sad. But I think again, really kind of indicative of how utterly toxic the world of this show is. And I think that toxicity rubs off on the women very much as well, because let's face it, all of this horror show going on to these women, and there are other women around, including like Carmela, who are either oblivious or willingly looking away and not really caring. Meadow doesn't seem to care that much about what her roommate's going through. It's just annoying, so I'm going to go hang out with Noah instead. Um, no one seems to care that Meadow's kind of going through it at the end, right? Meadow is obviously in a lot darker place at the end of the episode. Now they may not know why, but this idea that when things are going wrong for the other girls at the club are like, don't ask questions. I'm like, well, she disappeared. Yeah, don't ask questions. So don't listen to what you're hearing about the horrible things that happened to her. But man, it was dark. So I'm assuming we're moving on to a different storyline, but it's kind of like a side episode there, one that didn't incredibly feed along with the main storyline of the show, except for the fact that we get to see the tensions between Ralphie and Tony are increasing. I don't expect Ralphie to be incredibly long for this world, although Joe Pantaloni was absolutely killing that role. He's a terrible human being in this role. But I look forward to seeing where it's going. We do want to go and thank all of our Patreon subscribers for being here with us, and like to give a special shout out to Actuarial Lurker, Balash Fuldes, Chris, Derek Peterson, Jeff, Christy Goverston, NJ, Sudu Gundafarapu, Torgir Lingstad, Weird Magic, and Wear Panda 47. Thanks so much, guys. Really glad you're here with us. If you would like to see a full-length reaction to this and everything else that we have watched or we are currently watching, please check out the link in the description below to our Patreon page. On every show, including The Sopranos, we're at least 4 episodes out on Patreon and we're on YouTube, so you can keep going on our Patreon page, but you will have to sync and watch along on your own source material. You'll only see and hear me for copyright purposes. I'm kind of curious where we are with Janice's quest to be a better person or a more religious person or whatever she's doing.
I want you to count backwards from 10.
What's down?
10, 9.
Is Junior getting his surgery?
Your nephew Tony. Cooperate fully, help take him down.
What do I get?
Guaranteed cure.
Yeah, it's definitely in his head. Thank you, Dickinson. Okay, that was funny.
And depending, of course, on the full path report.
Is it clean, Enlo, or not?
Yes, it's clean.
What is happening?
My uncle thinks the world of you, and if there's ever anything I can do, a favor, anything, let me know.
I'll keep that in mind, Mr. Soprano.
Did that rub him the wrong way?
Worry a little more about what you give me.
Blow me with your lectures, Paul.
I'd be mad too if he lost it.
That's well. Let him down.
He touches me.
Then make it easy on us all. Take him off. Everything.
You know, if I beat him in pool and we were betting and he said, "No, I'm not going to pay you," I'd be mad too.
Before I was breaking balls. Now you're beginning to worry me.
Now give him my $60.
You're all packed and paid for, and you're gonna pay attention. You're gonna learn something for a change.
We're going to FBI headquarters.
So?
Does everyone have a thought about that?
Balsamic.
That's all they have at King's these days. Balsamic, balsamic, balsamic.
Balsamic.
Problems at work.
Sunday dinner, Tony.
I know. I gotta go. All right, you. See you later.
I'll take a plate. I'm just hungry.
He's got an uncle sick with cancer.
Oh, please. They didn't speak for a year.
Actually, if you must know, Tony has been a little better.
It's true. And he cares about Junior right now.
He's no Angelo Stanford, that's all.
What is that supposed to mean?
You know Angelo was dying to marry you.
I was going to say, I don't know what that means either.
Stanford's is a chain of drugstores.
So what? He doesn't need therapy? He prescribes his own tranquilizers? All the other builders were too busy to bid?
Oh, please. My heart bleeds. What? The waters don't part for you wherever you go?
Oh, wow. Oh, I thought I saw something moving there. Big Mouth Billy Bass. I remember these infomercials. They never stopped.
Anyway, $4 a pound.
Oh, was it motion censored?
Carmela.
Is she going in alone?
Look, it's not like this when me and Tony are here together. You never give him the silent treatment.
Is that what you think? I'm giving you the silent treatment?
She waits for Tony to talk all the time.
Still, half the time he doesn't even talk to me. You've seen him get like that day he sat here like a wall.
Yeah.
He was distressed about this young man's death in the garbage compactor.
Woman's.
He didn't say garbage compactor, did he? See?
What is it you believe?
You know about his job. He reports to a strip club. Who knows how he spends his days?
Well, he really has it on her mind here.
But as you've pointed out, your husband is my patient.
I am not the one who needs mental help. I just needed to vent.
Everybody needs mental help sometimes.
Here. Thank you for your time.
Please take it. Yeah. You know, they said he's a sociopath, and sometimes sociopaths, it's their families that need treatment and learning how to deal with the sociopath they love.
When can he eat regular food again?
I'd guess 2 weeks. So let's fill out the...
You tell me to take a crap on the deck of the Queen Mary. An hour later, they're hosing it down with disinfectant. I owe you everything, Doc.
I really like his attitude here.
Bring somebody with you to the doctors, it said. Somebody to ask questions. You ask one dumb question about my diet.
He didn't ask the right questions.
It's just me and Tony with med at school. AJ's on a field trip. Who knows, maybe we'll get lucky and Tony won't show.
Oh, not funny, because she's missing her husband.
That's Coco's worst time of the day. I can't leave her.
Angie, that dog is not a substitute for human contact.
That French poodle is all I got left to Sal.
Oh, that is so sad.
Anybody around here love the word Jimmy Choo shoes?
No way.
Something in gold? Say a nice, I don't know.
Yeah, I was going to say, does he know shoes? I don't.
They're all yours, baby. And they're from next season. You can't even buy them yet.
Crime pays.
Now what happens? I gotta give them all back?
Temporarily. I'll get you 8.5 tomorrow.
Okay, so we can switch around a day.
Since you've been, in, I just can't believe the stuff we get.
Yeah, this is all enabling.
You could have called. Now everything's cold.
Well, that's why they invented microwaves. For inconsiderate husband.
At least he admitted he's inconsiderate.
Is this the pecorino?
Right.
The hell with heating it up. It's good like this.
Eat a lot of my leftovers cold, too.
She's really learning. She's out on her own, and if she passes us by...
If. She did that when she was 14.
Isn't that what you want for your kids?
What's wrong with them?
Her. Osteoporosis. Angie needs money for an operation.
We'll take it up with Pussy.
Oh, come on, man.
He left Angie holding the bag, which is not right. How could they let him go without his wife?
Into the program?
Yeah, that's right.
Wow.
And I don't want to hear about him ever again. Or his ungrateful wife.
His what wife?
This is some serious gaslighting here.
My Broadway's a size 10. Patsy, pack up some of these shoes. Chrissy, you don't mind if I take my taste now?
Seeing if he's not ponying up enough.
This really sucks, Christopher.
You see the shit I go through?
Oh, come on, man.
Meadow? What, didn't you hear me knocking?
I was sleeping. I thought it was Vanessa.
She's kind of going through it, too, with her heartbreak.
Jesus, it reeks of cigarettes in here. You're not smoking, are you?
Caitlin.
Seems out of character for her.
A boy just handed this to me. A seminar on the CIA and the Cultural Cold War. I'm trying very hard here, Med. If you want me to leave, I will leave. I have an hour before my lunch with Dean Ross.
You're going to lunch with the dean?
Can we not talk about this now, please? The real reason I stopped by to see you, though, was to make sure you're recovered from this Noah thing. I'm worried it'll affect your grades.
You call losing a wonderful man because of Dad a thing?
Oh, come on. That is not what happened.
Look, don't drag me into whatever bullshit accommodational pretense you've got worked out with Daddy.
What was that, last night's reading assignment?
Yeah.
Well, you're getting better. That's the important thing. You look better, too.
If you're gonna lie to me, tell me there's a broad waiting on the... I gotta get nutrition somehow. Kennedy says eat only what I can sift through a straw.
Was that just like tuna and milk?
With Kennedy, it's cut, zip, over and out. He has the hands of an angel. And don't forget his name.
What? I'm supposed to be impressed because the man's name is John Kennedy? Let me call Cusimano. He knows doctors in the city. He sent Silvio's mother to one. Can't hurt to make a call.
All right, you set it up. You come with me. To listen and ask questions.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea.
But I've talked to her professors. They say she's attentive, inquiring, does all her work, and makes insightful contributions to class discussion.
I am so glad to hear you say that.
Is this a, like, date?
It seems like she sleeps an awful lot.
They all do.
Okay. Oh.
The money I give you. You're driving a Cadillac and you're looking for more?
Oh, that's not a terrible point.
Coco, please. Coco, down.
Hey, what?
Do not hurt this dog.
Good girl. She don't look sick.
It comes and goes.
Don't you dare.
So your children don't feel
God.
boxed
I really
in by
thought
the
he was
city?
going to club
We're out
the
all the
dog.
time. Lately, Felicia has us all into kayaking on the Hudson.
What if I seen this guy in?
More wine?
Why not?
Yeah, this is definitely a date.
Well, I will have to talk to my husband.
50 grand?
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
We talked an awful lot about Meadows having the best possible university experience.
Yeah. Those Jew pricks are holding a hostage.
He's Italian.
Jews with better food.
Oh my God.
We gave 5 grand a year. That's a long way from 50.
This is college, Tony, New York City. 5,000 is a slap in the face to these people.
That's probably true.
A 5-FU-based regimen with cisplatin and doxorubicin. This is the treatment I would recommend.
Are you getting this?
No, I'm not.
I could end up having the chemo, puking my guts out, having the 6 hairs I have left fall out.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean he's not Kennedy? You make life and death decisions because of a man's name.
Yeah, it's kind of the vibe I was getting too.
JFK worship of yours. What about Hoffa and the Teamsters?
That was the brother.
It was Bobby Kennedy, yeah.
Dr. Krakauer? Hi, yes. Thanks for calling me back. I was referred by a Dr. Jennifer Melfi.
Okay, good.
Anytime that's good for you. That's great. That's fine.
I hope we get to see some of it.
You smoking?
What is this, a 3rd degree?
It says with pulp.
You like it with pulp.
Not this much.
Oh my God.
You know, I figured out that this is the longest we have ever been away from each other. Did you miss me?
Sure.
Well, how was it?
It was pretty good. They had PlayStation 2 right in the hotel room.
Oh my God. Say what you learned.
That was the sum total of your trip to your nation's capital?
But there's not enough to make sure your own daughter is protected.
I won't pay.
Oh, just pay, man.
I know too much about extortion.
Do it for your wife.
He's a sick He was sniffing her fucking panties.
Yeah.
Look, I don't deny that Paulie can be a little quirky. He always has.
He should not be sniffing his girlfriend's pants.
If you concentrate on your breathing, it'll be easier all around.
The girl said she'd page Dr. Kennedy. Where the f*** is he?
All right, 20 minutes and I'll be back.
So because the two doctors don't like each other, they're going to put this guy through something that probably won't work?
You out of line. He's gonna marry the girl, for Christ's sakes.
As of the wedding day, anything that touches a is off limits.
That's not okay.
Last night, the machine says if it's an emergency, press 6. So I pressed 6. Still no call back. 24 hours later. He must be very busy.
Well, Tom's going to go visit him now, yeah.
My cell phone is 917-555-0157. Call me back anytime, day or night. It's important.
Don't ignore that one, man.
How'd you find me? Better be careful. If I can do it, so can your bride-to-be. So what is this?
That's probably true.
I don't know why I thought she was a size 10. I don't know either.
That's funny.
You ever go whining to the big man again about shit between you and me, we'll have a problem, my friend.
Oh my God.
Watch and learn, Phil. Watch and learn.
Oh, he never called back. Infurio's with him. Oh my God.
I use one. Added 10 yards to my drives.
Thanks, but I really can't accept it.
For everything you've done for my uncle.
Take the club.
Anyway, what am I gonna do with it? I already got one, and Mr. Williams here, he don't play.
Mr. Williams.
Stupid game.
God, Furio's so scary.
He's not doing so well. He's got a bad reaction to that chemo.
That happens all the time.
Oh, wow.
Now, you know how old people are with their superstitions. He thinks it's because he went against you.
Oh my God, into the pond.
I was a surgeon, that's all.
You gotta be on your act.
I shouldn't be enjoying this, but I am.
Cheryl, make sure Mr. Soprano is scheduled for 2.
Just remember it.
This is a really cool golf cart.
He's a good man. He's a good father.
You tell me he's a depressed criminal, prone to anger, serially unfaithful. Is that your definition?
That's a great question.
Organized crime.
The mafia.
Oh, Jesus.
Hard to hear, isn't it? Interesting.
He betrays me every week with these.
Probably the least of his misdeeds.
Help her out.
You'll never be able to feel good about yourself. You'll never be able to quell the feelings of guilt and shame that you talked about. As long as you're his accomplice.
I've always felt that too, yeah.
My priest said I should try and work with him and help him to be a better man.
How's that going?
Yeah.
Have you ever read Crime and Punishment?
Dostoevsky. Yeah.
One thing you can never say that you haven't been told.
I mean, he is. I don't think she's ever going to do it, but he is.
Thanks, Dr. Kennedy.
I'll check back on you Wednesday. Take good care of this young fella.
Interesting, he didn't tell him that he didn't think it was going to work. So that was a half measure for sure to keep Tony off his back.
I noticed you've been a little tense lately.
That's rich. You suggesting I go to a shrink.
It's not a bad suggestion, though.
Tony, you got to do something nice for me today. This is what I want. You got to do this.
Yeah, okay.
That should be enough for those Morningside Heights gangsters.
I already told him 50.
This is the bargain she's making to stay. She's doing it for her kids.
You look like you could use a night off from cooking. We say we go out.
And you say yes because you're him. I feel like this was an important episode. I feel like this was finally somebody sat Carmela down and looked in the face and said, you need to accept that you're a part of this, that you're not innocent in this, you're an accomplice, and either leave or, well, the advice is you need to leave to be clean. You don't take the money, you take your kids and you go. In order to remain to become an innocent in all of this. And she chose the other route. She seems to be more accepting of the fact that she's not. Sorry, the cat's really needing me. She's accepting the fact that she is enjoying and benefiting from the lifestyle that she's chosen with Tony. You know, think back to the episode. She's got hiccups with her mother. That you could have married this guy who has his own drugstore, is doing quite well. Well, I went this route. I married the criminal instead. And she needs to accept the fact that she is a criminal's wife in a criminal family. And I'm kind of curious to see what she's like moving forward with her acceptance of that. Maybe she doesn't need to see a therapist anymore because maybe she's just going to be the person that she's kind of fought the fact that she is all along. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how things are going to go with stuff on the keyboard. How things are going to go with Junior and his treatment right now, because it looks like the doctor is not actually going to help him. He's going to first cause so he feels better, but actually treating him is not going to happen. And he doesn't believe that, and none of them seem to in that little meeting, that the treatment path that he's on is actually going to work. So the simple fact he didn't intervene to the extent that Tony wanted him to, I'm not sure how all of that's going to go. Obviously, he's banking on the fact that Junior and Tony and everyone else involved aren't really doctors, so they don't know the extent to how ineffective this might be. But yeah, Junior might be in real trouble health-wise moving forward with the show as well. We took the episode off from Ralphie. I expect to get back to him pretty soon. He's a really important part of the story, and I'm wondering if Tony's ever going to admit the fact that they brought her up again. The he that died at work working for Tony, the garbage man who was actually one of the dancers. Is Tony ever going to sit down with Dr. Melfi and say what really happened and process that? I doubt it. We may be done with it now. And then moving forward, maybe the problems with Ralphie are going to be larger than that. And you know what? He actually ended up with Sal's wife not being wrong. I thought it was horrible of him to show up and kind of threaten her. Like, this is ultimately a widow's wife. He was definitely gaslighting when he was talking to Carmela about it. Yeah, there's definitely some sociopathy there. But it turns out he was right. It was a shakedown. At least it looks like she was just shaking down Carmela to get to Tony to give her more money. But maybe not, but it sure is a far cry from I shop over here because every penny counts. I'm so poor, and she's driving a very expensive car. Maybe she's just that bad with money, but it certainly seems like there was a bit of embellishment there on her part about how destitute she is. All right, appreciate it, guys. I will see you very soon on the next episode.